Hi Cancer, welcome to your May 2024 Astro Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your Sun, Moon and Ascendant sign, but if you're only going to watch one, make sure it's for your Ascendant. It's going to be that much more accurate for you on that day-to-day level. With that said, remember they are general readings. Use your own discernment. And also, if I ever don't mention a transit, or one of the dates, or I forget them, please check the description box below because all of that information will always be there. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with the forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, my lunar brothers and sisters, let's get into it. So for your the first transit that I would like to explore for you is on the 1st of May. As soon as we come into the month, on the 1st of May, Mars is coming into your 10th house, into your career sector, right? So your career sector gets like a good shot of espresso and maybe even some excitation, right? So the passionate, energetic Mars energy comes into your career sector, which sees you kind of maybe especially if you've had sort of career challenges of late, this will see you really being able to move past them or to remove from your life whatever is getting in the way of you having the kind of career that you would like, right? So with the Mercury retrograde over finally, this is a welcome boost of energy to the career, right? That Mercury retrograde may have seen you rethinking it, and it might have even slowed things down when it comes to the career, but this is boosting it, right? It's giving some energy. It's giving you the ability to get your boss on, right? Yes. So Mars for you rules your 5th house because it rules Scorpio as well, and it also rules your career. So this means potentially that some kind of love or romance could be featuring for you. It also means that there's like potentially a connection of a sexual nature to an authority figure, which might be possible. So if you're single, maybe you and a boss are getting your flirt on, or maybe just somebody that you really look up to or admire or aspire to be like. I also think this could be the removal of an element of your life that changes your status in some way. So if you've needed the bravery to go after some kind of personal business, because the 5th house is your personal business, or make an investment of some sort, this is definitely a good moment to do that, right? Mars is giving you the oomph, the energy and the bravery that you need here. So for this, you've got the 6 of Wands, love that for you. You've got the Star card, wow. And you've also got the Justice card. So this is an unconventional commitment of some sort. So yes, it can be sexual. It can be on a romance level. Absolutely. Maybe you start dating somebody where there's an age gap, right? The Star card does suggest that this person will likely be younger than you. Maybe this person is really wise for their years. This with the 6 of Wands and the Justice card in tow as well. This is a contract or a commitment of some sort that really is a big part of your future and where you go from here, but it's a really supportive one. It's I would personally say that I think this is actually wonderful. The other thing with the Star card and the Justice card, this could be some kind of commitment to some online practice or something in the digital sphere. Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here for all of it. Okay, so the next transit that I want to look at for you is Mercury on the 16th of the month is going to come into the sign of Taurus. This is setting up immediately, right? You've got Mercury, you've got the Sun, Jupiter for another sort of 2 weeks at this point, and then you've got Uranus. This is what we call a stellium, right? And this is all in your 11th house. Mercury coming into that 11th house is going to be a breath of fresh air, right? Especially because it's going to sextile your ascendant and any planets that you might have there. And it means that there's a discussion here about the future, possibly with older people, maybe even some kind of secret communication could be happening at this moment in time. One of the ones that happens in like the corridors of power almost, especially because Mercury for you rules your 3rd house, which is Virgo ruled, and it also rules your 12th house, which is Gemini ruled, right? So there's an element of this that suggests it's very focused on work, communication, some of the more sort of esoteric concepts of life as well, might be even, you know, sort of what gets you noticed, a conversation that you have that's somewhat outside of the box. The 11th being helpful people, there's an ally or a supporter here that gives you some kind of solid platform, or even just the right support that feels solid and stable in some way. So I absolutely love that as well. For this, you've got the Ten of Swords, okay, with the King of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. So if you've had problems or challenges with group associations, if you've had maybe a feeling of some sort of isolation, that could be coming to a close now. Now, the Ten of Swords with the King of Pentacles, I wouldn't be surprised if a boss or a superior, or, well, I say superior, you know what I mean, a boss, a supervisor, somebody that's in sort of a higher position, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody leaves your organization at this time. That might create some sort of, you know, maybe it creates a potential for you to be promoted, but it comes about in a way that you either don't expect, or like maybe it comes about in a way that you're sort of really unsure, like, oh, okay, this is happening now. The other thing with the Two of Swords, it can show up as an opposition. So there's a possibility here that an earth sign person, you and an earth sign, might sort of clash around something, or in some way, shape or form. Excuse me. Another way that this potentially shows up with the Two of Swords is it could be like an opportunity that you kind of feel like on the surface it might not look like much, but underneath you might feel like, actually this could be really good for me, I'm gonna go for it. So it'll be interesting to see how this shows up as well, especially because the Two of Swords can see the righting of the wrong, and maybe not necessarily by this person's hand. So it's like, maybe you know, like when you're younger and your mum makes you apologize to your cousin or your sibling. This could be like that, but either which way, you know, it could be a wrong that is righted in some regard. On the 19th of May, Mars is coming into a conjunction with the North Node, right? So Mars, North Node, conjunction, Venus is going to be in there by now. And so this is an amplification point in your career. It's in the most visible sector. This is really about how the world sees you, how you present to the world, the legacy that you're leaving behind. And I'll give you an example. When you watch Radiant Reality, when you see me doing all of this stuff on YouTube, or you're having a personal reading with me, you're seeing me doing my 10th house, right? So it's the most public version of you. It's also your social status in the world, how you show up, how people kind of see and view and understand who you are. It's your status, right? Whether you're single, whether you're partnered, married, daughter, you know, husband, orphan, all of these are statuses of some sort, right? Homeowner, all of these are statuses. Mars again, right? But this time it's in conjunction with the North Node. It gives a fated sort of moment around your career. This sees you get like serious about some form of your personal visibility. Maybe this gives you the oomph, the energy, or the push that you need to put yourself out there in some way. If this is the case, take the leap, right? Whenever we see the North, like any of the nodes sort of really start to play out in some regard, you are seeing effectively a bit of the Fool card, right? So allow yourself for once to not to be the supporting cast member, but to really put yourself out there and be the leading, you know, be the star, be the leading sort of person. Whatever it is, it will be a landmark moment for you, and things will not be going back to how they were before, because this is so public, right? I mean, which it can be, like, you know, people announce they're getting divorced and then they say, actually, no, you know what, we talked it out and we're not getting divorced anymore. It happens. That's just one example, right? You could say, like, actually, I'm going to leave my day job and I'm going to start my own business. You know, whatever the case might be. I don't personally see life being the same for you again after this one, though, for so many reasons. All right, now, for this, you've got the Five of Swords. Okay, so it might come with a little bit of friction. You also have the Two of Pentacles, so this could potentially be around like a financial matter, or potentially around you sort of you start to categorize things now. You start to put things in place, and maybe in ways that, you know, might see someone, maybe at least one someone or several someones, not happy with what you're doing. Why? Because maybe they stand stand to gain something from you keeping the status quo. And then you've got the King of Cups, right? A water sign person, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, with the Two of Pentacles. This is about you figuring out what you want to give and what you want to take, and where that actually is either in or out of balance. It also potentially sees you utilizing that really wonderful intuitive faculty that we know you have, to your best, to your best, right? You're using this in a way where, and this is the thing that I love about the King of Cups, out of all of the kings, he's the one that can use his intuition for business matters, right? The others can do it, yeah, for sure, but for me, this is the one, right? He's the one that can bring that intuition to ground. Okay, so the next transit, the final transit that I want to explore for you, is on the 26th of May. Jupiter, right, is going to come into Jupiter comes into the sign of Gemini, so into your 12th house. Jupiter in the 12th is one of my favorite transits because it really enhances your psychic ability, and it also provides what I like to see as guardian angel energy. It truly gives you support from the intangible, from the other spaces and places in the world, right? It's like when all of your good deeds come back to bless you in some way. Now, at the same time, it's going to conjunct Venus and immediately set up a trine to Pluto, right? So this is a pretty big deal. This is going to see you becoming more compassionate. It's definitely a time of spiritual abundance for sure. It also is going to see you becoming more compassionate, maybe even diving into some kind of spiritual study that much more, maybe even some kind of metaphysical practice that sees you really deepening and understanding your reality and spirituality that much more. It might also see you join a private spiritual community of some sort. So maybe you know, this could be anything from a literal magical order right through to, I don't know, a coven or something along those lines. It's very possible. You could be connecting with a lover in a very private way, or meeting somebody and keeping it very much under wraps. Jupiter for you rules the 9th house, and it also rules your 6th house, right? In a trine to Pluto in your 8th house, right here, which is occupied by Aquarius, there might be a spiritual slant to this, a sexual encounter that is deeply private, or some kind of sexual exploration that is deep and maybe a little bit, you know, sort of taboo or intense, right? It's possible, and there's nothing wrong with this. If you're in a space where you are an adult and you're consenting and you feel like, actually, you know what, I want to explore my sexuality a little bit more, I want to check out more of the taboo sides of my nature, this could definitely do that for you, right? Dreamscape, meditation, intuitive powers are deeper and more profound at this time, and potentially even lighter and easier to access. This is amplifying your boundaries, and it assists you in kind of peering beyond the veil. You've got Jupiter there for the whole 12 months moving forward from the 26th of May, but it sets up really nicely. It's like it comes in, straight away goes into a conjunction with Venus. That's lovely. On top of that, as if that wasn't enough, it immediately trines Pluto. This is really you starting to understand the depth of something, you know, and I'm thinking a big part that will be the depth of yourself. Hidden treasure, look at that, the 10 of Pentacles, right? With the Chariot card, which is you, right? And then the Page of Pentacles. So this is you discovering some kind of hidden wisdom, or maybe putting some kind of hidden wisdom into practice. And it's going to see you kind of, you know, literally moving beyond or going beyond the veil. And potentially, for a lot of you, this might lead you to the victory and success that comes with discovering what your purpose is. And I don't say that lightly. If you've been with me long enough, you know I say you have multiple purposes over a lifetime. It's not just one and done. So love this, right? Now, for those of you that would like to study tarot, you can grab your seat on my next tarot course. It's on the link in the description box below. We actually start on the 7th of May. It's not the 6th of May, the 5th of May as I thought. For some reason, I don't know why I said the 5th of May. We actually start on the 7th. And just make sure that's right. No, it is the 5th of May. God, I don't know why I'm losing my marbles. Anyway, it's 12 weeks, right? So you get live classes every Sunday. You're going to spend 2 to 3 hours with me. On top of that, you're going to get bonus videos, client demos. You're going to get all of the material that you need, PDFs, bonus videos. I mentioned those. So many things. There's only 20 spaces and I very often run this course without it being a full 20. And I do that because I like to get to know my students and to support them in a way that sees them going literally from the foundation right up to being intermediate and reading spreads. So if you are interested, if you want to get on that, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Enrollment will close on the 30th of April. So for your lunations, on the 8th of the month, you will have a new moon in the sign of Taurus. This could bring new groups, new associations, new benefactors into your world. It could see new future plans really starting to shape up, right? You might start planting seeds around what you want to do at a later date in your future for your life. For this, and it's at 18 degrees of Taurus, you've got the gate 6 and resolve. This is you finding the resolve to start a new path, to head towards a brand new and potentially even bolder vision for your future than you've ever had before. I love this as well for you starting to reap the rewards or getting the gains from your business or your career or whatever it is that you're doing in your vocation. And then for your full moon, we've got so the sun will be in Gemini at this time, along with Venus and Jupiter, like as if that wasn't enough. And then the moon will be in Sagittarius at 2 degrees of the sign. This is in your 6th house, your physical health and vitality, your body, how you show up on that day-to-day grind is your 6th house. And also the 6th house is the things or the people that sort of can be a little bit burdensome, right? So a full moon in this sign is going to show you where you have or haven't looked after yourself in the right ways. For this, you've got the gate 18 and perfection. This is potentially you clearing up, all manners of thought around this to say, actually, there is no perfection and I need to stop chasing it because that's not doing me any favors. All right. The other way that this perfection card shows up as well, it's a reminder that you can only do what you can do, whether this is your health, whether it's your work. There are only 24 hours in a day, and really and truthfully, there's only 12 of them that we can actually use at any given moment. So be good to yourself, Cancer. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes out. Take care, and I'll see you soon.